what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah.
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah. Keep listening.
You believe that? Like, all I did was just turn into the window like this. And I come back, and here we are, out of breath. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of your show. My name is Gary. I am your very busty host. I'm wearing my stretchy shirt, as you can see. Stretched a little bit. Oh, sorry about that. Another nipple slip. I'm getting famous for these nip slips. I got to be better with my shirts. But this is my fat guy shirt, as I am still eating bologna sandwiches. I moved on to grilled cheese as the budget eating continues. And I'll tell you, totally worth it. So good. Bologna sandwiches, amazing. Grilled cheese, amazing. The only side effect is this. So maybe I'll do a push-up after the show. We'll see how that goes. This is, still as far as we know, the only live show originating from Saskatoon, 4 to 5 p.m., Monday to Friday. And that's what makes us stand out, and that's what makes this place so special. Every day we are talking about all the latest stuff going on in our beautiful city. That makes us hyper-local. And when you advertise with us, people see what you're advertising. And that's so rare in the world today, and we're so proud of the way we've built this place and how it operates, and we want you to be a part of that as well. Again, the only one doing it. Going live is so hard to do. No one wants to do it because it's so scary, but around here we thrive on it. And we're very, very proud and grateful for that. And we're very, very proud and grateful that you are here with us yet again, finishing up your Tuesday and heading into your Tuesday evening. We also have a camera, and this camera, world-renowned, mostly because the dog is pretty darn cute. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Maggie Cam. Bow, bow, bow. Looks a little tired today, hey? Look at this. Yeah. You got anything for us?
Love.
Give her a little kick. Do something cute. Yeah, there you go. That's cuter.
Oh, yeah.
The Maggie Cam for our fantastic pals over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. When you walk in those majestic doors, Margaret's boyfriend, Leroy, who is the greeting dog at Pet Planet on 8th Street, will greet you. He'll walk you up to the till, and then once you get to the till, you'll meet Mike and or Rochelle, and they'll guide you on the greatest shopping experience in a pet store you will ever have. They have raw food in the back, in fridges, right beside the cleaning station as we're basically in dirty puppy season. The best cleaning station in town. They also have all the latest toys, outfits, treats, and so much more. Everything is waiting for you over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocery. It looks like my socks and my slippers are together.
Yeah.
See? Look at that. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? When to become one. Remember that song?
Great, yeah.
I need some love like I never needed love before.
Is that Brian McKnight, or who was that?
Bro, I want to make love to you, baby. Had a little love. Now I'm back for more.
Oh.
No? Boys.
Boys to Men? Who was that? Brian McKnight?
Spice Girls,
Ah.
man. Come on.
Deep cut.
I am
Yeah.
so embarrassed
Yeah,
for
I'm
you
a Viva
guys right
forever
now.
and spice up your life.
I'm
kinda
not
guy.
embarrassed for myself. Hey, it's Tuesday. All that angst in the house. Check this out, boys. Hold on. That's really good selling. I like that.
That was awesome.
So this isn't just a Tuesday episode of your show. It also doubles as an episode of the All Out of Angst podcast, where we talk about the greatest decade in the history of not just music, video games, outfits, and so much more, but the greatest decade of all time, period.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
down.
And then we carry over to other stuff. And you can find said audio-only podcast anywhere you find your podcast. Just look All Out of Angst up, and you will find it, and it's a lot of fun, and it's what we do. We also have a sort of quasi-intro here. And now, LB, I'm going to look at. We got LB on the ones and twos today, my main man. He's giving me a thumbs up. So I just want everybody to check out the brand new intro we have without music yet, but the music is coming. We're going to put it all together. But go ahead, LB. Let's make this official.
What?
Yeah, dog.
No way.
Yeah, dog. That's us.
Look at
Look at
this.
that. Woo!
Ooh, I like
Welcome to it.
LB
Hey,
does it
that's
again.
my guy. And Network Ryan put it together, so I guess we can give him a little credit.
We'll give him a little credit.
Tiny
but
bit.
I'd prefer to give most of it to LB.
Yeah, he's our guy. We love LB. I say it to him all the time. Nobody here will ever be as invested in this place as LB and me. We were the first two, the OGs. So him and I we're ride or die right here. Maybe one day he'll take me up in his plane. I lost him. Is he gone? Oh, no, he's got his head down.
The rest of you guys are scum.
I thought
I
we were
only
tight.
consider you scum compared to LB.
Very hard. Very hard. So what we do here is we hang out, we talk. We got Uncle Mike from all the natural products. We got Matt from all the bands. And we have a lot of fun. And we got a bunch of stuff to get to today. And I just realized the other thing I didn't tell you guys about it until right now.
I love surprises.
On YouTube's, I stumbled upon I believe it was a Toy Factory skate video. Is that right?
Oh,
Not Toy Factory.
Machine?
Toy
Toy
Machine.
Machine,
The one, I believe it was the one with Jason Lee.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called. But I found myself going down a like 90s VHS skate videos wormhole. Like I'm talking Welcome to Hell. I'm talking
Yes,
Fulfill the Dream.
classic.
I'm talking all the ones the boys would throw on at parties. And they're still so good.
What a blast from the
Still
past.
so good, man. And with each skater that was introduced, I was like, man,
Jamie
it would be
Thomas,
so.
he's in there.
Oh yeah, all Chad Muska, like all of like Rodney Mullen, all these guys, and the choice that they would have had to make picking their song for their part of the videos. We talked about
Yeah.
it before.
Yeah, because there was like the heavy metal punkers, and then
Yeah.
there was Muska was more of that urban hip hop vibe.
Muska had literally, it was just like a maracha beat for one of them. It was just like it was like a hip hop beat, but it was like upbeat, and it was like had shakers and drums and stuff. It was like a mariachi type situation. It was so cool. Then you have like a death metal. It was so awesome. I knew you guys would appreciate that. I'm pretty sure I still have Fulfill the Dream in VHS at my parents' house, which is now my brother's house, which is pretty cool. We watched the hell out of that one.
Oh, yeah.
And like old skate videos, dude. Like you're out there making them.
Oh yeah, and
It's
again,
nuts.
once you had your little section, you had to put the
Get a
song,
song
in.
on there.
Mine was violins
I
for
love
our
that.
first one.
Violins.
But yeah, that shaped my whole musical,
cool.
yeah, like life.
And then I realized that they have like new ones, like from like 2023 and 2024. Like they're still sort of doing it. It felt a lot different
But
because it
nowadays,
wasn't on a VHS.
everyone's
but-
got this, and
yeah.
they can just like we had, like I say,
Exactly.
for the snowboard videos, we would put under our armpit the little like. At this point, we got the cameras down to like the size of like I don't know. A block of cheese or something. Either way, you'd have to put it under your arm to keep the battery warm, and then you would get about 5 to 10 minutes of actual filming, and then the battery would run out. But yeah, and then you'd take the little tapes, and you'd have to get that onto something, and then I remember editing, and Evan Hardy, we had our, like just the tape to tape type of stuff or whatever.
LB
but
is there as
we'd-
well.
Yeah, we'd sneak in on the weekends and edit up our videos. And
Hold on. Whoa. You're breaking into school on the weekend?
Well, you see, because this isn't work.
I was going to say, no talking without the mic.
They weren't open on the weekend?
He's coming.
No, the school is open on the weekend now.
But it wasn't back then.
And back in my day, we walked uphill both ways.
He also Evan Hardy graduate, and he was in all those media rooms.
But
so-
it
My
was
favorite. One time I pulled a prank. We were there late at night because we were getting back from a shoot, and we put Gandalf sax guy.
Oh yeah.
We put that on every single computer playing simultaneously, and then we
that's
put it on the sound system too.
just the right amount of nerdiness.
So
eh?
did
The
they
entire first
good.
floor or the second floor, all you could hear was Gandalf sax guy in perfect sync.
It's so good. Do they still have the tape to tape editors to show the history of what? Not even as a
No.
museum piece.
It's in the Western Development Museum.
Yeah,
now.
it's been moved out.
I think there's a Discman in the Western Development Museum.
I miss Discman too.
Yeah.
Even a Walkman. I think it's a Discman. It's like this is how they used to listen to music.
And I think
back
the
in
Walkman
day.
was better than a disc. The anti-shock never really worked.
One of the
And use more
almost
batteries.
almost as fake as the bass boost on boom boxes.
It doesn't work.
It's like the goggles. They do nothing. They do nothing. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm with you. Walkman.
Yeah, that was
You were
the
always
best
until
for the
until
portable.
the tape got messed up. They had to spin it back together. But no skips.
Because I actually do have some MP3 players, which is that's about 3 behind now. Because
Look who you're talking to.
everyone does, I would assume, just AirPods.
I had a shuffle.
AirPods.
I had a shuffle
their
for like
phone.
3 years. I love that thing. It was
Yeah,
like this
I
big and you just clip it on you. I had like 1,000 songs.
And
on
the
it.
thing, what I do with those is I just fill them up, and then I'm too lazy. Usually the laptop or wherever I like filled them up is gone and pooched, and then so I just basically this little thing just has like 100 CDs on it.
Yeah.
I call them CDs, they're albums, but
Yeah, they're CDs. Bro.
But
It's all good.
yeah, then I've just got like a shuffle that's preloaded, but you can't re-add it or
right.
change it because
Yeah,
like
set in stone.
technology's already moved
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
Crazy.
I don't know. I'm just still one of those guys. I don't know that the AirPods they sound nice, but I feel like they would fall out of my ears. And it's just I always like being at least 3 behind.
Well, and it's another thing to charge, and then they don't last as long. Like,
Tech has ruined everything. That's one thing I've learned over the years is like the more technology tries to advance, the less they care about anything
But
about feeling or operating. All it is how fast can we get money
Yeah.
in our pockets. Make sure these things break within a year so people have to keep going. Make sure people lose them real easily. Let's make sure like it used to be care about the customer and now it's care about the money. And that's everything across the board. And it's so sad.
But I do like now that we can have whatever music we want, we can actually make the soundtrack to our life. Where like back in the day, you had to have you're carrying a boombox
Hell yeah.
around or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I do like now. Anytime I'm somewhere, I can match up exactly what type of music I want. And Sean, this special little thing that we always write songs about how much we hate.
That's it. 1,000% true. That is 1,000% true. We got LB on the ones and twos today. He's the co-host of The Viewing Room. New episode dropping today. I actually watched it last night, and I thought I was going to get roasted a little more. You guys are pretty nice to me in there, which is pretty cool. They did The Big Lebowski.
oh, nice.
That's what I said.
You mean the Gary, the sexy Gary?
There was a lot of comparisons going on. And Dragon, he took a hot stance. He said out of all the Coen brothers movies, it's probably his least favorite.
Really?
And I was sitting there trying to defend it to the boys. It's like, man, like everything else, I can't defend to the boys
Is
because they'll
that
never
just
understand.
clickbait, or does he actually believe
He
that?
believes that. He's like, I'm an old country for old men guy. That's what he said. And then he said he put a couple other ones before this one. He's basically called it the worst Coen brothers movie. And I don't even know what the other ones are besides Old Country for Old Men and Fargo. Old Country for New Men. Yeah, that's what I said.
He was close.
Clearly,
enough.
clearly I've seen it.
If you type that into like a chat GBT, they would know.
Hold on a second. Is that the one where the super creepy guy walks around with like an
Yep.
air? Oh, I would never.
I've
That's
just
too
been thinking
creepy.
I need to rewatch that because it has been a while, and I think I pulled it up on.
Is it as like nutty as Fargo? Because I've seen
Uh,
Fargo, and that's just a fun little romp.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
You know,
supposed to
don't you
snow.
know? It's gonna snow a lot, don't you know?
Don't you know, eh?
Very good. See, we can
Bobby, don't you know?
we can speak Alaskan. No problem at all. So check out The Viewing Room, new episode. Very excited. LB, could you also toss me my phone from the charger real quick, just through the window? Thanks, buddy.
Give me the
I'm gonna make sure I
soda.
don't miss any text into the show. My man. Oh, I thought we were gonna do it. Thank you. Okay, so we'll get into some. I always mess up the term. Housekeeping, house chores, whatever it is.
I like
the stuff
it.
we talk about.
Housekeeping.
I just saw my man Mobley Llorente up there. Hit him up with the mortgage group. That's TMG. Think outside the box. Mobley Llorente. Check out the banner. You'll see it down below as well. 306-370-5804. He is family. He has joined this team, and we are so proud to be promoting him and helping you out when it comes to mortgage stuff. We also have a bunch of ways for people to get their karma up. We are in sort of donation season around here. We say it all the time. We end every show. Do good things. They'll start happening to you. And we like to provide those good things to help you along to do them and then have the good stuff happen to you. In the descriptions, I call it describes. Everyone's giving me shit for calling it describes.
What is it? I don't even know what you're talking
It's the thing underneath the video.
Okay, yeah.
So you look at the screen, and here's the video. And then underneath, it'll be like, your show, episode this or that. And then underneath there, you'll see donate. So we got Hockey Helps the Homeless going on right now. March 21st is the big day at Merlis Belch. We're going to be mic'd up. It's going to be awesome, hanging out with Bernie Nichols and a bunch of old hockey boys. It's going to be super cool. And we need to raise some money. That money raised for Hockey Helps the Homeless stays in Saskatoon, goes to the YWCA, goes to the Friendship Inn, and it goes to the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center. Special out to our friend Lori and Deb and the team over there. So when you donate, it stays here and you're helping your community, which is very, very cool. As well, the book is out now. The book that changed my life. This thing right here, You Can't Stop Love. John Fast is the author. currently on a world tour right now, promoting this bad boy. Which
Where's
is
he
crazy.
gallivanting?
He's
This,
in
this week?
Bogota right now. Bogota, Colombia. He was just in Mexico. Dropped off a copy for the president of Mexico. True story.
Crazy.
See how that goes. But this book is so good at reminding all of us what should be important in life and how when you decide to dedicate yourself to helping others, your life can turn around. You could be, like, for instance, my buddy John, the author, you could be a raging alcoholic and lose everything in your life 2-3 times over and still come back and write a book 30 years plus sober and talk about how that journey should be applied to everybody, not just to people in recovery. The idea of doing good things and caring about others. And it's such a simple message. And it's basically everything we've been saying here all the time, but in a book form. Audio book available now if you want to do some audio book. It's really good. And you can pick that up. There's a link for that as well. Our buddy Callum, out of hospital, discharged. He is now in the house, not the hospital, which is a huge
nice.
thing for
So
him.
that's why I didn't see you today.
Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
This is my first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So
you still-
everyone got to see my wiener.
You hung the wing, and I didn't even get to
not
enjoy it.
not one shadow.
I'm sorry, buddy. But it is really cool to not have to go
Yeah.
there anymore. You know what I mean? And he's got his chair now, and we're working on the next thing he's going to need is a lift for his place so we can go up and down the stairs. So that's the next sort of goal on the GoFundMe page. You can find that link as well. So just to recap, in the describes, you can find the donation button, I guess a link to donate for Hockey Helps the Homeless, a link to buy the book, audio or hard copy or both, and the GoFundMe for our buddy Callum as he continues to transition into his new accessible life. Very, very cool. All great ways to get the karma up and help out your community. That's what we're all about. When we say we're hyper-local, that is what we mean. And if you want to be like our buddy Mobley Llorente or the many other people here on this network, Aquaman Limited, shout out to Aquaman. Underwater drone inspections, no big deal. All right, water monitoring and sampling, it's all there for you. Hit them up. All you got to do is just send us an email. LB, can you pop up an email for us? You ready for the jingle? I think this jingle is the one we're going to go with.
And
It's set in stone.
I would like to like get Aaron or someone to lay it down professionally.
Yeah.
I think that would
And
be pretty sweet.
get like numerous voices and
Yes.
really bring. Okay, here we go. If you want to join this team, be it with an organization, with a charity, with a podcast, you want to start your own show, we are here for you. We have an audio booth. We have a Twitch streaming studio. Everything you need to chase dreams is here. Just get in touch with us. And you can do that by emailing contact@dufferinave.com. That is the email. This is the theme song.
That rhyme too.
I think
dot
you've got, like
com,
it is a
song,
defined melody.
yeah.
It
You've
took
got-
me-
the
it took me
defined
about
rhythmic phrase.
10 months to find it, but I feel like that's the one we're going to go with.
You're on fire.
We are on fire. And I can't wait to get your lovely wife in here, and we can really layer it up and make it pop.
Oh yeah, you know what I
And
mean.
we could probably set it for every time we hit it, it just plays, hey?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Oh,
like
I love
the
that.
idea of the paperboy walk-up thing. If we just had that, where you
Yes.
can just press it.
That's it. Oh, we should be doing the walk-ups more. All right, boys, we're going to send this one. I'm getting good at this. So we're going right to left on 3. 1, 2, 3. Get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Who
We
needs you?
also have a website with a perfectly sized sign on the end. Look at that.
That is
Beautiful.
perfect size.
All the love to the great Royal Anders, creating a website that even I enjoy because I hate websites more than anything. Mostly because the second you go to one, pop-up ads, pop-up ads, pop-up ads. And then you're looking for like the simplest little thing, like a contact. Can't find it. Go up and down in between. Where the hell's the contact? And then go into something to find something to get to that. None of that shit goes on here. Check it out. It's the easiest website to navigate for good reason because we need easy websites to navigate.
We do.
Yes, we do. All right, we're going to send this one to you. You guys ready? Let's get this thing out of here. We're just going to do it with wind. 1, 2, 3. See you later. Well, I was a little late. Man, you guys are strong. Well done. Whew. Okay. Sidewalk Slam out now, season 3. One more thing. I'm looking at my notes. Sidewalk Slam, the greatest. Like, you don't have to give, and this is going to be good for you because you want to throw in on this at the end. Magic the Gathering is very hard to understand. When you watch it with our friends, Commander Cookout. Hey, shout out to Bamford & Co. podcast, by the way, Beyond the Keys. New episode every Wednesday. They are awesome. And One Small Step, that is who we're working with for our team for Hockey Helps the Homeless. So check those guys out. When you go, what was I saying?
It's
Sidewalk Slam.
Magic.
Sidewalk Slam, thank you, with Magic the Gathering. When you go and watch Magic cards being played, you won't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I've produced damn near 50, 60 shows for them now. I still don't know what's going on. But holy crap, is it funny. This Sidewalk Slam, like we spent, I think, 7 hours in here doing intros on the green screen, doing gameplay on the set, then doing post-game over on the modern set, and editing on all these jokes and slam cams, and so much work went into this Sidewalk Slam Season 3. There's the Commander Cooker Boys right there. That you really got to check it out. I've watched it twice now, and like the jokes are hilarious. The whole thing is so enjoyable, and you don't have to know a thing about Magic. That's the beauty of it. They found this perfect sort of area where you can sit down and watch this and laugh your frickin' ass off and not really know what's happening, but you also learn as you go.
That's
Very cool. So
yeah.
Sidewalk Slam Season 3 out now. Super Nintendo Anderson also had something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, basically, Super Nintendo Anderson, my Soup 6 at the old landfill, nicest, most supportive guy. You know, he'll be the first to come to all of our shows, buy the merch or whatever. And you were talking about the Slam, and I was like, oh yeah, I think they do some Magic or whatever. He just messaged me. He said, D&D, not Magic the Gathering, my good sir. And I feel like pretty ignorant because I don't want to be like that. But
You don't want to be the guy that talks about Frodo going to Hogwarts.
And he's not saying like, it's not that he's upset. He just doesn't want people like asking him about Magic the Gathering when he doesn't know anything about it. He's a D&D guy. So for that, I apologize.
Is he a dungeon master?
I don't want to say anything.
He may or may not be.
The dungeon master.
I
only
is that
asked.
the guy that like brings all the stuff?
He's the guy. I only asked because I believe we have a dungeon master.
Yeah, he is the dungeon master. Like he comes with like all
He's
these
like
like
the organizer.
Yeah.
But he's the one that runs the
facilitator.
game.
I
right?
believe so.
Give me a quick synopsis of what a dungeon master does. Here we go.
You're God.
Awesome. God. Free Jones from Rock Bottom.
A little bit more than that.
You control the world.
Okay.
So basically, the players will tell you what they want to do. Well, sorry. You describe the situation to them. They tell you what they want to do, and then you either tell them what happens or they roll some dice and then you tell them what happens.
So can you be a vengeful god or do you have to be?
It depends. If your players are playing like assholes, then sure.
Okay, I'm already interested.
I've been trying to get D&D set up here to do a game, just like Sidewalk Slam, and have the whole thing recorded. But LB doesn't want to dungeon master for us.
Well, because I'm already doing one campaign and it's a lot of work.
Super Nintendo Anderson.
Might be our guy.
There you go.
Would you play with us if we brought in Super Nintendo Anderson?
Yeah, I'll play.
Nice.
Just
Okay.
the amount of work
Oh, I
that
know.
goes into DMing is a lot
like,
more, right?
I'm chirping you, but I definitely get it. Like, I grew up, both my cousins were dungeon masters, and I tried so hard to learn D&D, and I couldn't do it. Shout out to Craig and Sheldon. But they dungeon mastered hard.
All
and
the like
stuff you got to be
figurines
aware
and
of,
stuff
and
are
everything
just
that goes
so
on.
heavy metal and badass.
crazy.
I love all that stuff.
So I would really want to get this. So maybe run that by the Super Nintendo Chalmers, see if he wants to dungeon master for us for a game. Do you play? No. You wouldn't play with us?
Oh, would I play?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I thought it was a do I play?
No.
I
Dude.
don't.
Let's get into it. I think
I know
maybe
that.
we'll
I
have a
think this could
special
be a-
All
this
Out of
could be a
Angst
thing.
presents
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. I like that idea. All right, I'm gonna write that on my notes. D&D. What do you have to use?
And
that
I like the idea
and?
of like signing Super Nintendo Anderson up for stuff when he's not even.
Did you hear that?
Well, I like the idea of getting fans in here and participating
Yeah.
with us. That's what I'm talking
Yeah, it's a
about.
great idea.
Super Nintendo Anderson, maybe getting a call. Just saying. This is the All Out of Angst podcast, a.k.a. your show, the Tuesday edition, hanging out with Uncle Mike and Matt from all the bands. And we're going to get into some music talk because we are pretty music heavy here. First things first. I'm going to get the negative out of the way now because this might lead to a longer conversation. Brent Hines, if you're a Mastodon fan at all, you know Brent Hines. And you know how good Mastodon is. 25 years. 25 years leaving the band. Now, with Mastodon, because of how they operate, is this going to be a bit of a hindrance to the band going forward?
I don't think so.
It's a weird situation, right? Yeah.
I think
break it down.
the one thing is like Brent Hines or whatever. I feel like he has not been into heavy metal for about 20 years. Like there's lots, you can go back for decades and interviews. He'll be like, I hate heavy metal. I don't like he got into a band that, you know, became quite famous for being, you know, a heavy band, and they were always on bills with Lamb of God and this and that. But I don't know, he never really seemed to like metal, and I think a lot of like metalheads like myself kind of hated on him and the band for that reason, because it's like you're making fun of the music that we kind of like built our life around. So it's kind of like, if you don't want to be here, get the hell out. And but I do get it from his point. Like, if you're not into that music, it'd be inauthentic to try and write and play and go up there pretending like you're like having a good time.
But how can you be that good if you're not into it?
Right.
That's the big thing for me.
Because music carries over. It's just rhythms and melodies and stuff, you know, like.
Man.
But yeah, so there's that. But then they brought in that YouTuber, like a fan he was like, you know, stuff that Mastodon does. That's his like YouTube thing or whatever. And the band tapped into him because he already knows how to do the stuff. And I think that's kind of cool. And it's on trend as far as like YouTubers and YouTube guitars are almost more popular than bands at this point.
Right.
So like the idea of bringing in someone that's got a good following from the, you know, the internet, I think it's going to be good for them, and I really don't think it's going to matter. They've got such a wealth of classic material that even if they didn't write another amazing album, they've got enough to work.
Did he do any singing at all, or is it just Brand Naylor and Troy Hines?
I don't think he did any singing. I don't know all the guys' names, but I know there's a guy that had like a pointy goatee. I feel like he does the majority of the singing.
There's Troy something, but either way, drummer singing, which is freaking badass.
Oh yeah,
like Brand Naylor, insanely good. So if he doesn't do anything, I think it's all like, because you know bands have sounds, but when you have a vocalist, you can't duplicate that. You can get someone close, you can get all the cover singers you want, but we can never find another Matt.
You can't redo it, but bands have successfully did it so many times. Obviously, starting with AC/DC when you know
Van
Bon
Halen,
Scott died.
all these guys,
and then they had their second, or even like new today. You've got Linkin Park where they brought in. I forget her name, but she's just killing it. I actually quite enjoy some of those new songs. Like, I was never a Linkin Park for President. Like, they weren't my favorite band, but
Linkin Park for President.
I thought they're all right, and they like definitely defined that '90s sound and early 2000s or whatever. But yeah,
very interesting. I'm just looking right now, and Brand Naylor. Brand Hines, Troy Sanders. That's what I was trying to think of. So Troy Sanders does vocals. Brand Hines does vocals, and Bill Kelleher does backing vocals, and so they all sing.
Yeah, so I don't think that it would be different if it was like the main guy.
Yeah,
Freddie Mercury or something.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, and that's sort of what I mean. It's a unique situation where sort of everybody's your lead singer, which is pretty crazy.
And then I don't know who does the majority of the writing or whatever. If he's like adds to a lot of the writing, that could be a bad loss as far as
I feel
how
a lot better as a Mastodon fan now, knowing that if you're okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Again, because they always had they're a heavy metal band, but because of things that Brent Hines would say, I never really considered them like true heavy metal in the sense, because they weren't like Slayer. That is a heavy metal band to me. I know what was it, Killswitch Engage, when they toured with Slayer, I think they got kicked off the tour because they were wearing like capes, or you know, like kind of like they were like goobers.
Adam
or whatever.
D. That's what Adam D. does. He gets on the stage with a cape and cut off Daisy Dukes that are up to his nuts.
And I know Kerry King
hilarious.
We're supposed to look like men. And I don't want to be an elitist, and I don't care what you look like or what you do, but I'm not a gatekeeper, but I do have so much respect for heavy metal that there's something in me that like I like when it's a heavy band, it should kind of look heavy.
You are allowed to like whatever you want to like, and so are you. Don't ever let anybody tell you what you can like and what you can't like. That's where we get lost, when people are like, ooh, I heard this, so I think this now. No, don't be a sheep. I say it every day here now, it feels like. Stop being sheep. Be yourself.
But yeah, you don't need to, like, I feel like there was that thing where you just had to have your arms crossed and you can't enjoy one, like, that was a thing for a bit, you know, especially with black metal and, like, some technical death metal shows where it was just, you just have to show that you appreciate by crossing your arms, where, like, I like doing, we call it teeth metal, where you're kind of playing and you're smiling the whole time, because, like, I'm having a good time, so I'd rather not try and hide my smile, like. So,
if you ever start doing something only because people tell you that you shouldn't do it, get out of here. That's where you lose it, man. That's where you stop being you. I used the example. We did a previously recorded segment today, and I did an example of how when we built this place, we had so many people saying, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And all of those questions, I would say, why? Well, that's how you get more views. That's how you make money. That's how you label things so they get more advanced through AI. And every single one of those times, like, no, fuck you, get out of here. Stop telling me what to do, because the second you take that into your brain, you're no longer you. You're now doing something for something else, and your vision changes.
And those guys are already doing that so well that they're going to outdo you on their move. Like, we'd rather just stay in our lane.
Not only that, do what you enjoy. That's the big thing. I've had to defend so many things around this place, not just because I want it to be authentic and to be ours and to be nothing like anyone else is doing, but also because it's what we want here. It's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing what you want to do, what the hell are you doing?
We're using our precious time that we have on Earth. None of us know when our time gets called up and blah, blah, blah. So, like, if we're spending it, talking about music or hanging out here, to me, that's very precious, and you're using a finite, something that's very finite to us. So, yeah, it's like, if you're not enjoying it, there's no reason to do it. And I'm older, and, like, with things like with my thumb kind of acting up these last little bit, it's like, I just always want to, be doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and just be, like, grateful. If I'm doing something, I don't want to be like, oh, I have to be doing this or whatever.
That's it. So now, watch this, because Uncle Mike hasn't talked in a while, so I'm going to throw something at him. And you know how I love to throw stuff at him without any
and
prep.
something really difficult to answer, too.
Yeah, he'll have no clue what it is.
It'd be the simplest thing and it'd be difficult
So,
for me.
in honor of Mastodon becoming a different looking band, are there any other bands out there that lost a member that really got to you? That really made you go, oh, man. Be it through, breakup or death or whatever. Any of those?
We were kind of thinking about band members changing, and I kind of just was going through my mind of not for any particular reason, I guess, but like Propaganda. I was listening to some different albums, and just like, especially with the latest Propaganda albums, I guess you can recognize the vocals, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then I kind of went back to older albums. It's like, oh, I don't know.
That Weaker Than Sky, hey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Southern Manitoba.
Yeah.
Prairie. Oh, man.
And then like Dayglow Abortions too, right? Like it was Jesus Bonehead shifted out for Cretan. Murray kind of came, he flip-flop, he was gone, he was back, he was gone again. And it's like, if you really listen to it, you can hear it.
Yeah.
But I guess back in the day when I was, listening to them, you didn't really notice it, I guess. I don't know. And then when when you're aware of it or you look into it, then you actually go back and you can kind of notice it a little bit.
There is a lot of like weird examples of like just with singers, like Killswitch is perfect, like Howard Jones.
Yeah.
Like when I got into Killswitch, Crazy Kyle, our best buddy, guy number one, got me into the
I like bread and butter. I like toast and jam. You don't need mashed potatoes. You don't need T-bone steak.
Crazy Kyle.
Hungry now.
Well, I hope Coach Mazer is listening or watching, because he's the one that got us onto that.
Oh, really?
Coach Mazer's the
Of
guy that got
course
Kyle
that
and I
came
onto
from
bread and
Coach
butter. Yeah.
Mazer.
He likes bread and butter. Oh, so good. So Kyle got us into Killswitch, and so the only Killswitch I knew was the Howard Jones fronted Killswitch, but it turns out there was an original lead singer before him. And so Howard comes in, and then Howard leaves, and they bring the original singer back, and I could notice that right away. And so it's like, this is a different sort of band. And now, apparently, they got both singers going. So now it's Howard and the old singer together. So they're like,
That's for Killswitch?
Yeah.
And what's the other, 3 Days Grace? Aren't they doing that as well? Or what's that band?
maybe.
I feel like there's one of those like rock bands that's doing that too.
Actually, yeah, because there was like an Adam Gonche or something like that.
That guy.
Yeah.
I think, is that 3 Days Grace? I'm not very well versed.
Well,
I haven't known anything about mainstream music since I left. Or sorry, let go.
and one thing that is interesting, like obviously, so lead singer is changing, but I do find that it also, like, it's not just the vocals that change, it's the music that changes.
Yeah,
you know,
the
Like with
right,
that
feeling of it.
propaganda example, like it is night and day when I don't know his name, but the Weaker Than's guy, when they go into Today's Empires, Tomorrow's Ashes, total different sound. There's more of like songs that are complete hardcore with Todd doing the vocals, and then it just, even that song that
There's new propaganda out right now.
Oh,
That's
yes,
sort of
yeah,
what sparked
that's-
this conversation. We were listening to it a couple times before the
At
show here.
Peace is the new.
At Peace?
At Peace, I believe.
That's
is
the name of the song?
Yeah, but yeah, it's got that newer Propaganda sound, and it's just fantastic.
So
Ah,
good.
like
It's- man.
most Propaganda fans, I put it on and then you play it about 5 or 6 times in a
Yeah.
row just because you're like, I need to hear more of it.
And it has all the things you want. It's got like the sexy breakdowns. It's got like the fucking like the time signatures alone, like all the different
and
ways
his,
they come
his
at you.
voice just is so compelling when you hear it. You're like, I have to listen. Like he's saying something worth listening
Very
to.
important,
And I get, when Potemkin City Limits came out, that again is along this sound or whatever. But I just remember we were in our apartment on 12th and Clarence, and I'm at this point 25-year-old man or whatever. But I was up on my couch like air guitaring by myself, and I just like that music makes me do this.
Oh, yeah.
Where to me, that's something special. If you can still be that excited and have that childish wonder.
And it I don't know, Propaganda does the same thing for me too. I put my phone in my pocket and crank it up, and then I'll walk around the house, thrashing my air guitar in front of my kids, and they're just they're kind of like, Dad, what the hell are you doing?
What's with all the kids hate, man? Like back when I had a family, I'll tell you, I never got to listen to my own music once. Whenever I put it on, everyone got mad.
I think it's just because it's Dad's music, right? It's old man's music, to us.
That's
It's
fine.
guitar-based
right.
music.
Yeah.
Maybe just let a guy play one song though. Like just let me get one in.
Well, and sometimes
like,
I just
like we're talking hatred
I
for this
just
type
don't
of
give
music.
them a choice, right?
So
I turn
that's-
on, and usually I'll sneak it in the morning because a lot of times I relate conversations to music, or someone, so we're talking about something and a topic comes up and it's like, well, there's a song about that, or even just a saying and like, oh, that's a lyric to a song, and then I have to pull up the song, and then everyone
Let me
has to
show
listen
you.
Oh,
to the
anytime you hear a
song.
lyric, that you have to pull up the
that's it.
song. They won't believe you otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta prove my point here.
Man, Propaganda
no
though.
point,
I'm looking. Like what we got? How to Clean Everything. Let's Talk More Rock. Potemkin City Limits is 2005.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that would have been right when
Supporting
it came.
cast.
Yep.
Today's Empires 2000. Victory Lap 2017.
Yep.
Which
So this must mean a new album is coming.
it's
Yep.
going to be coming. Yeah.
Woo!
This is the first.
Very excited.
And then hopefully they're coming through and playing some shows.
I'll tell you, second favorite all time goes No Effects, Propaganda.
and then
OWC.
and then where does no use? Are they in that?
No Use would be probably top 10.
And Lagwagon, same thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lagwagon's probably top 5.
Yeah.
But OWC is probably number 3. Just from that one album, my one best of.
Yeah, where are we
Oswald's
at?
Walking Connection. We
We
haven't.
we should revisit that potential.
Gary with 2 R's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, Hooper was in the shop the other day, and because last time I ran into him, and I think we had just finished the show talking about that, and he was jamming
Yes.
that night, or he had jammed the night before, and then I brought it back around. And then he inquired. He's like, "Yeah, is any headway?
We're starting
made?"
rumors, boys. We're starting rumors.
Well, I'll give the guys a reminder, a gentle
slow,
nudge.
gentle
into,
nudge.
like,
Well, yeah, we'll do a feeler and get, because that needs to happen, and then I think that could spark the getting more people.
For
I would
sure.
like to interview again Mike Lefebvre. I think
Yeah.
he's a guy that needs to be here just because he knows so much about that early punk scene. But
Yep.
if we can start getting more guys like that,
Would love that.
and then we're going to be doing our pre-show on the June 7th. We'll have all the bands in here, so the more the merrier.
That's what it's for, man. Chasing dreams, you guys, as we say it all the time. If you want to chase some damn dreams, this is the place to be. And so proud of everyone in here. It's very, very cool. So got the new Propaganda. You were also talking about Sacrifice.
Sacrifice, classic Canadian thrash metal. The album's called Volume 6. It's a creative name, but either way, it's just
That's
they-
SEX, Volume 6
Volume 6
or 6. Okay, so not sex. I was trying to sex it up. I
But
apologize.
yeah, they just never miss the mark. They're just that no meat and potatoes thrash metal, and these guys have been around since the '80s. And you'll hear bands like Death and Cannibal Corpse and those guys referencing Rob, the vocalist from Sacrifice, as their main inspiration. So he inspired that Florida death metal,
love
and
that.
and all. He's just the band is just they're amazing, and it's cool because. I look up to the fact that they're kind of they work their day jobs, and then they'll go and play some
Relatable.
huge festival in
Yeah.
LA, or they'll play some huge festival in Europe or whatever, and do these things, and then they go back to just doing their jobs and being
to it.
and
Normies.
to me that's so Canadian,
Oh,
just
yeah.
you're
Big
well,
time.
yeah, we're rock stars that inspire generations and blah and all these heroes, but we just work our jobs and
We're still just real people like everyone else. I always like that. So the dragon was backwards. Like we can have a
That's
backwards
not-
dragon.
it's
That's
not-
crazy. Okay, I think we've talked about most of the stuff I wanted to get to. Now, with that in mind, I think we should talk a little bit more about that damn concert coming up in June.
Yeah. So again, it's the Raven Witch is opening up the night. Then we got Endless Chaos from Winnipeg.
Hell yeah.
And the guitar player from that is actually going to be he's going to be joining Untimely Demise for our set. And
No
'cause
way.
We did have the
Oh,
drummer
yeah.
was in Untimely Demise, like James Burton.
yeah.
But we've got Brian's obviously still in the band. But just the way it worked out, like we could have got Ty Lore to do it, but we're kind of like.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it is. It's Ty Lore. It's
Yeah,
not
of course,
Ty.
not Tyler.
Yeah, and
Ty
he is
Lore.
just a fantastic. Like he can sing and play anything from like Prince to blah blah. Blah. He's amazing.
love
But
it.
either way, like he's in Edmonton, and we know, it's not
tough.
necessary. We don't need to ask him every time, and it's not like he's officially in the band. Where Mike, it made sense. He's just like breathes thrash like us, so it'll be nice. And there's a potential that he might be making his way to Saskatoon like full time. So like. It would make sense. It would be nice to have a thrash guy, and so that's all really really exciting. And on the Raven Witch front with that show, me and Noel had a little conversation today, and basically
Today.
this morning,
This is up to date.
up to date, and basically Raven Witch is willing to subsidize the plane ticket.
What did he say?
He is asking his boss, but he is into it. And so it sounds like Noel's going to be, well, let's just say he's into it. Yeah. Sounds like Noel's going to be in for Raven Witch.
The band's getting back together.
The band is getting back
Oh, I
together.
love
That's
that
just
so
super exciting.
much.
And yeah, it's, again, we can cover all this when we do our pre-scrum. But yeah, it's nice when all this stuff got booked. It's like, oh, I don't have members for bands and blah, blah, blah. And I'm always just like, if you build it, it will come.
Yep.
Like, and it's starting to fall into place, so that's nice. Because some nights you go to bed and you kind of have that imposter, like where you feel like, oh, I'm saying all this stuff and I'm building up, but I don't even have it worked out, And it's nice
fake it
when
till you make it.
when stuff starts falling into place.
Hell yeah. And we're going to use that Black Cat event as sort of our testing for a portable show, which would mean that we would set up and do a little pre-show before the show begins and have sort of a Dufferin Avenue Media Network presence at the show, which will be very, very fun.
I think this is a great idea. And again, it's just the boots on the ground.
Yep.
Classic Dufferin Avenue Media Network.
This is it, man. Like, it's just every time anyone throws an idea out there, it's so cool to be in an environment where it's like, maybe, and I'm talking crazy ideas. And anywhere else that you'd be laughed at. Like, I say it all the time. The old job I had, I was told there's no stupid ideas. Like, okay, here's one. Besides that one, that was stupid. But everything else, there's no stupid ideas. Like, back then, whenever I would try to do something that I felt would bring change or be different than all the other stuff, which eventually became what the radio show was, not only was it shot down, but laughed at. Laughed at.
People fear change.
So I was in this sort of bubble where it was sort of like recovery. It was sort of like you're in recovery and you need to learn to trust your instincts again and learn to trust your guts. And that's sort of where we got to with this place, because that's all I did. All the ideas I had for the old place have been implemented here. And so this is basically what the old place could have been, is my point. And when you put all of that into consideration, it's another great example of don't let other people tell you how you should think and what you should do, because that's yours. The second you let them tell you, you end up being a puppet. You're a sheep. I'm trying not to preach. I'm trying really hard not to preach.
Better step off that pulpit then.
We are literally a living, working, breathing example of what can be done if you actually do things your way. If you say, get all the shit out of here, we're not doing any of that garbage, we're going to do this the way we feel like it should be done. Then you end up with a place like this. You end up with a place where we can talk about wares being created by hand from one of the most majestic workers in the soap, dare I say, cleanliness industry.
You dare.
Uncle Mike's.
You dare.
We kind of had an Uncle Mike's moment because we're kind of cleaning our place right now.
Yeah.
And so we boxed stuff up and then we're like wiping down the walls or whatever. And I went hard on the
Good
one
for
wall.
you, by
yeah,
the way.
I went hard.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Lots
Thank
of people.
you.
Lots of people don't care about wiping the walls.
And I was kind
yeah,
of,
wipe
but
those
Aaron
walls.
wants to do a good job, and I always support that or whatever.
course.
So I wiped him down a couple times, and there's like, you can see where all the pictures were and stuff, and it just was looking pretty rank. And I was like, I just can't scrub anymore. And she's like, goes on the old interweb and gets a little recipe. So we got baking soda, vinegar, water, a little bit of lemon oil, and just the smallest amount of dish soap, and it just works so good. Like it erases that with those like magic erasers. It looks so perfect, and the lemon oil gives it that nice shine after. But like, I was like, oh, Uncle Mike would like
so
that.
proud.
And it's all
approve.
natural.
I
It's
approve.
good. Yeah.
That'd be awesome, hey? Put a stamp right on the wall. Uncle Mike has approved these walls.
Yeah. It is amazing how like simple cleaning can be with
But
yeah,
it like it
vinegar or
worked
baking soda.
so much better than like just soap, or even like I had like Lysol wipes, and
Yep.
that was doing nothing.
Yep.
The goggles do nothing.
Hanging out, the Tuesday edition of your show. This is also the All Out of Angst podcast. Thank you for watching and checking with us or listening anywhere you find your podcast on the Spotifys and the Apples and the other ones out there, wherever you Google, you can go find it, hit it up, turn it on whenever you're doing, and you get a nice little show in your ears talking about fun stuff like cleaning walls. Do you have any wall cleaner, Uncle Mike? Or anything you would suggest that could be used as a wall cleaner?
Probably nothing really that I would make
Guess-
currently,
But sounds like the recipe.
but yeah, like I said, I mean, like,
you don't want to get into that business when it's already perfected.
well, I mean, I could, but it is so simple that baking soda, vinegar, alcohol, a little
What,
bit of
for you?
soap,
Yeah.
like,
What for you?
depending on what you're cleaning or disinfecting or.
But yeah, I just
whatever,
thought it was gonna smell like more vinegary in the place, but it smells great. Like it.
Yep.
Yeah, don't think I'll use a store bought cleaner again after doing that. I'm sold.
That's very, very
Done.
beautiful. I'm just in my head, I'm thinking about all the different bars of soap I've gone through. I made the transition from the bottle soap to the bar soap in the shower. And the reason I did it was because I had all those spare ones that you had that were just sort of the loosey-goosey ones. And I'm done to my last bar. I do have one in here that I'm going to take inside.
Well, I've got a bag.
Anyway, point is that the soap works incredible.
Oh yeah, it really does.
Like bar soap. It's been so long since I used bar soap in a shower. I love my loofah. I get my loofah
Yep.
going, and I just loofah up, and I think it's because you can see the soapiness. Eh?
Yep.
But the bar soap, man.
Well, you know what I need to bring you. So I have these. They're kind of, I call them soap savers or soap sacks or whatever. So it's a handmade little bag for a bar soap. The initial thought was that
Come on.
you take all your little tiny bits that are too small to do anything, and then
put
you
it
put
in,
them in a bag.
and it works like
so
its own
it's like
loofah.
a loofah, but it's a hemp. Like
that is a
it's-
great
Get
idea.
me that bag, bro.
So it gives you a good scrub,
Oh.
and then you can fit a full bar, or you
Get
put
rid
your
of all
little
that
bits
dead
in.
skin. Get
But then
nice
you
and
get
clean.
that extra lathery.
Yeah,
with,
which is what I want.
Yeah.
I was
Plus
actually
a good
when-
scrub.
I had a tough transfer into the bar life. Like I was like, man, I still need to loofah. So I was taking the bar and just getting it all over the loofah and then going, I was like, this is not the same. So I just went full on bar, but that's perfect because of I have like 3 little small pieces that are all building up.
Yeah, and they're
And I need to get one of those. Look at this. I'm transitioning fully into bar soap life here. This is pretty cool. I need one of those trays that doesn't stick to it.
yeah.
Because man, oh man, I'm trying to get that thing off of the
Oh,
bathtub.
yeah.
It's like, who's super glued the
becomes
soap
one.
on here? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I want that loofah.
While
Yep.
we're on the cleaning subject, okay,
Yes.
as far as behind your back right here, do you just let the shampoo take care of that, or do you actually have one of those
Dude,
scrubbers, or like?
I don't even get there.
Gonna be the dirtiest part
I
of my
just,
body.
I just like let it
Legit.
go. Like I don't
think
if
anybody
the
gets
shampoo
it.
doesn't get it, then
I
I'm not doing anything.
know
My-
that I don't get it
Yeah, my
because
arm
I
can
even
reach about
had
here.
I had one of those sticks.
Oh yeah.
Like a
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like a you put the soap
Loofah on
on
a stick.
Yeah, and you just get in the back. I had one of those. I used it once.
Yeah.
My poor partner got me at thinking it'd be a great idea. It's like I don't use
I just
this.
feel like kind of like Bart saying like I wash myself with,
With
a
a
stick.
with
Like,
a rag on a stick.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I
Yep.
just
Yeah, that's a great point.
I-
Though.
there's
Very
like a
dirty,
s- yeah,
very
there's a-
dirty in
yeah.
the back.
just
But
one, yeah.
lots of hot water. I sit there under that shower and I let the hot water clean it all.
And what about face? Do you wash your face, or again, do you let the shampoo just deal with that?
Hold on. You know, the kids on the internet are all about these getting ready with me's. These like little videos
yeah.
where it's like, come and get ready with me. So here's getting ready with Gary. I get out of bed. I take my sheets and my blanket off of bed. I fold Murphy bed up. Now I know it's go time. And Maggie knows too. Once the bed goes up, they're all right, time to go to work. And into the shower. And once I get in, I brush my teeth in the shower. I'm a shower.
Whoa.
I'm a toothbrush.
I never
in the
would have
shower.
predicted.
I
Crazy.
got that, pop it on, and I'm brushing it. And then so I do the toothbrush, and then finish that. And then I get some water in my mouth. I do the gargle, spit it out, and then I wash my face.
With
like that.
so-
Because
okay,
I have
yeah.
all the
Yeah.
toothpaste
Yeah, I
and
guess
beard.
you got, yeah.
So I wash all that out, and then I wash my face, and that's how my face gets washed.
Yeah.
And then I bar down the rest of my body. It's a beautiful thing. You ever seen like a manatee getting cleaned in a giant pool? It's pretty much the
Sunning
same thing.
itself
Yeah,
on
it's
the-
a real visual there. We sort of talked about this last week, but the transition into spring. Spring is about to be sprung. I'm not sure what the official day is. Anyone know?
21st,
21st
Of March?
I believe the
Yeah,
21st.
Okay, so we're getting close. I know time change happened. The time change screwed me up bad. My phone was set on Winnipeg time for some reason. So I was having a real issue looking at my stove clock saying 10 and my phone saying 11.
Wait a
I
minute,
almost
I'd
missed
like
the
to pick
meeting.
Aaron.
Yeah, that's
Because we're the only
Literally.
province that doesn't change
Crazy.
times, so it's. But
That's-
I guess if you got it set to the wrong time zone, it'll correct to
the time
whatever
zone
time
really,
Yep.
really threw me off. But besides that, what was I going with that now?
It's just
spring.
Spring
changing.
being
It's-
sprung, time zone. Thank you. God, you guys are so good at getting me back on track. I appreciate that. It's been a busy day. Spring utensils, spring cleaning stuff with Uncle Mike. What are we going to be focusing on? I'm assuming there's going to be the spring push here soon.
Yes, yep. Kind of once the snow melts, I guess, and then I mean, I kind of like the true grit. You know, the garden season. You're in the garage. You're getting dirty and dusty. You're doing the oil change on the car. You're whatever,
Changing
turning
of
the
the
flower
seasons.
beds.
Yeah.
You know, that would be. I mean, it's still a go-to all year round, but
Damn 20 promo code.
yeah, save 20%.
Literally.
Site wide, just enter it in.
Buying stuff
Save
that you're going to
20%.
buy anyway. It's a hell of a deal. Be sure to use DAM20. That is the promo code. And I just want to give you props for being able to talk about this. And this goes all the way back to the radio days when you would come in. It's like, okay, how are we going to talk about the same thing over
Right.
and over and over again? Because you have your specific soaps that are made for this stuff. And you got like the bug spray I still got here. You got all this stuff ready to go for summertime. It's just a lot more than soap is what I'm getting at.
Yes. Yep.
So be ready for that to turn over. Anything else anyone's got going on? Anything on your minds before we call her a journey?
I guess just another quick mention that Ignite and Death
Yes,
by Stereo
concert!
show
I knew we were forgetting
tonight
something.
at the Black Cat.
You're going?
And
I don't know.
and just the all-you-can-eat pizza is off for tonight. That is actually a thing. So that's not happening because of the show.
On Tuesdays, though,
Normally it would be, but
all you can eat pizza. How much is it for the all you
I
can
think
eat
it's
pizza?
like $10. It's such a
Damn.
good deal. Like,
Bro, should we?
I just
Man,
want food, any kind of food.
all I can think about
and their pie is
since you
great.
just said that the pie is incredible, I would really like to take a challenge on that. Maybe get the team in there, see how many pieces we can eat.
Oh,
and then they would
yeah.
no longer offer all.
We
you
would
can
end
eat.
it. We will do so well that they will end the offer for everyone.
I've seen some pretty good players in there, and they keep going because there's lightweights like me again, especially if I have a couple beers, and usually when I go to the Black Cat, I'll have a couple beers, so I don't pull my weight. I'll hit
Yep.
2 slices, and I'm kind of like done.
do
Maybe
2 at a time.
Yeah.
Well,
I think LB and I could really do some damage in a pizza eating contest.
on the same thing,
Yeah.
like like buffets. Like, are there buffets around anymore? You
I think
know?
Great Buffet
mean,
China.
Yes, I think. Yeah. Anyway,
But not
so
many,
Buddy,
yeah.
Buddy took me out to a Chinese
There we
buffet
go.
for lunch. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and some dietary restrictions for me. So it's always like, oh, what can I
Yeah, you
eat? What
gotta
can't I eat?
know.
Whatever,
Mhm. No
And,
glutes.
and it's like, oh, but it's like they got everything, and it's like I'm gonna crush, like I'm gonna have 3 plates, and
sweet.
you're paying like $20.
Yeah, so
20,
you
like, it's-
you
you're
want to
paying the
get
price,
your
right?
money's worth.
But then it's like I had 1 plate, and like maybe I went back for a couple little things, but it was
Eyes
it was like,
bigger than
damn,
your
like,
tummy.
well, it's always just like you think like, what a great deal, like $20, like I'm going to easily eat that. And then it's like, well, you don't really, maybe, you know?
But
I
they,
don't know.
they get you. They'll like have the breads and the starchy
Oh,
things
yeah.
popping. So you're like, oh, that looks
Load
good.
you
I
up,
grab
yeah.
it and they load you up with the starches.
And
then,
of course, that's the stuff I can't eat. You
Yeah,
know?
no
But,
gluten.
They did have some, like, I don't know what it was, crab wrapped in bacon or something. It was pretty tasty. It was
Interesting.
gluten-free.
pretty tasty.
Pretty tasty. I'm just thinking in my head. Like the last couple of times I've ordered pizzas, I ordered 2 like large pizzas, thinking, okay, that'll be enough for about 3 days, and then it's done that night.
Yeah.
To be fair, I do get highly, highly medicated.
But yeah,
which
because you're
allows
probably
me to-
doing a couple sessions on that pizza. You,
Oh, yeah.
initially you eat it, then
And-
you let it rest for a bit.
The shame grows with each return to the fridge.
Yeah, I love that. Like
That's what
I've
happens.
definitely can. If we're doing it that way, where we've got a pizza and say, having some sort of smokables or something to help, with my appetite or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I can get to the point where you're just like, it doesn't matter. I can just keep going back for a slice. But I can't bring that into an all-you-can-eat kind of
Yeah, it's tougher.
venue. I don't know if it's nerves or what it is, but I always choke.
It's hard, man.
And maybe some of this is just like I'm kind of, putting it out in the universe, and that can be my problem.
I will also say this, though. I don't think anybody wants to be the guy that literally has tears in his eyes as he's opening the refrigerator and pulling out the last 2 pieces out of the, whatever it would be, 20 pieces that you get in a night. And it's 3 a.m. It's like, well, why would I even save 2 pieces? Like,
Right.
there's no point. I've already got this
Yeah.
far. And then
Yeah.
you just cry eat.
Mhm.
And then you get really sad, but it tastes so good. And then all of a sudden your tummy's pretty full. And then you try to go to bed. And blessing and a curse, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love pizza. I will add this before we get Frankie woken up and play our way out of here. One of the last buffets I'd ever been to, and you'll really like this story. Warp Tour. Coming back from Warp Tour, it was me, Johnny Sherman, Cliff Baschuk, and I believe our buddy Dom. And the 4 of us were driving back. We're going through Drumheller. Now, in Drumheller, there was an all-you-can-eat buffet called Fred and Barney's. You guys remember Fred and Barney's at all?
I don't, but that's a clever name in a dinosaur town.
And not only that, they had the big picture of Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble, and everyone's there. It's like a Fred and Barney's themed all-you-can-eat restaurant. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So we go in there, we sit down, and for some reason, Sperman looks at me. He goes, I think I just want a cheeseburger. And we're all pretty lit up. So it's like, dude, you're at an all-you-can-eat buffet, you're just going to get a cheeseburger. Like, yeah, I'm just going to get a cheeseburger. It's like, all right. So we all go to the buffet. We're going hard, and his cheeseburger shows up. And for some reason, I was so pissed off at his cheeseburger. It's like, why would you order a cheeseburger when you have a whole buffet here? And so we're just sitting there at one point. It's the 4 of us in a square table. And I just looked at him and I was like, you know what? Picked it up, threw it, hit him dead center. Full burger right in the middle of the chest.
Throw is the bird.
If you know Jonathan Sherman at all, that's not going to sit well.
Not well.
What the F? Tosses a plate, picks it up, throws at me, turns into a food fight. I've never been in a food fight in my life, especially in a public establishment.
Yeah, it's
Especially on a
it's
buff-
quite
at a buffet. There's
quite
endless-
disrespectful,
endless
really.
amounts of ammo at a buffet.
The worst
It's
place for them, the
dangerous.
best place for a food fight. So we go hard, blah, 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 food fight, eat this, F you, this, that. The lady comes running out screaming, get out right now. You're never, ever welcome again at Fred and Barney's. Lifetime ban. I just remember yelling, lifetime ban, lifetime ban.
Oh,
But he has his plate of food still. After all, just has one plate left, and he's like, okay, lifetime ban. So tries to walk over the food. He's like, you can't take that with you. Smells everywhere. One more little F you.
is that the only place you've ever got a lifetime ban? Or?
No, I also got
Let me get the list here.
But this one was basically my fault because I threw the first punch. Like I threw the cheeseburger. Like that was on me.
Yeah, yeah.
And like a couple years later, went out of business. So sorry to Fred and Barney's. It's a hell of an establishment. The other one was over at the Crazy Cactus when it was just over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was working in Slave Lake, Alberta. We can go ahead and run some Frankie's here, LB. I realize I'm getting a little late. And there's a birthday party, surprise birthday party for me. So I'm like, okay. I had no idea it was a surprise. Like, well, I had no idea because it was a surprise. So I go in to the Crazy Cactus. I walk in, there's all my friends. Big banner saying, happy birthday, Gary, and all this and that. And we had such a good time in there. Shirts became mandatory at one point, so everyone's shirts were off, including the women.
Shirts became optional.
Yeah. So tarps off, and people, it ended up getting pretty bad. Like people were getting real rowdy, and someone did some damage to the sign outside and some stuff inside. Someone stole a hat, and someone tried to steal like an ATM or something. All sorts of normal
like
stuff.
Black Cat.
Yeah, it was something. And then I remember going there the next day, and I was told that I had a lifetime ban. I was like, but this is my friends here. Like, I didn't even do anything. I was just the birthday boy.
Right.
Didn't matter. But it eventually got lifted, and I was like, well, took a couple years.
So did you have to pay your bill at Fred and Barney's, or was that the smartest way to like a dine and dash without
I think we
actually
dined and
having
dashed.
Amazing.
I don't ever remember paying
That
for that.
might be a loophole.
Ah.
It may
If you
cost
never
you
wanna
getting
go
a
back.
lifetime ban, but
yeah, there's
you get to
plenty
eat
of
for
times.
free.
Go back.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, props to you for playing while this has been going on. It's amazing.
I'll do what I can.
To LB in the Tooth Booth, we love you, buddy. Thank you for always being amazing. You're my OG. Like I said, ride or die. Uncle Mike, I love you. Matt from all the bands, I love you so much. Thank you for making these Tuesdays amazing. This has been the All That Angst edition of your show. We'll be back tomorrow for the All the Way Around table. It's going to be very, very fun. We'll check in with our buddy Adrian Balarjon in Australia, along with Simon Hyatt and Coach Mazer and Curtis Anderson. It'll be a lot of fun. Until that moment, remember, this is what we say here. And I bring it up all the time. If you do good things, they will start happening to you. Okay? This place is an example of that. The best example you'll probably ever get. So remember to do good things. We got donation links set up in the describes. You can go check them out. And if you feel that you want to help out, please feel free with Hockey Helps the Homeless, as well as our buddy Callum, and the audiobook out now. You Can't Stop Love. Boys, so proud of you. So proud of you. Another great show in the books. Be proud, okay? Again, karma, still very real. Do good things, all right? This will happen to you. We love you. You take care. Have a great night.
Smell you later.